Hello guys and welcome to IGCSE on Fingertips. Today we are going to solve chemistry paper 2 of February March 2021. Paper is 062022 FM 21. It's of 45 minutes and paper is a MCQ type paper. Let's start with the first question. Which row about the change of state is correct? Which row about change of state is correct? Change of state from solid to liquid. Energy is given out. No, energy is given in. So that's an incorrect option. Gas to liquid, energy is taken in. No, in this change, energy is given out. That is also incorrect. Solid to gas, heat is taken in. Okay, that's correct. And the process is sublimation. That is also correct. So your answer to this question is option C. Let's look at the next question. Question number 2. Gases are separated from liquid air by fractional distillation. The boiling points of 4 gases are shown. Which gas is both monoatomic and a liquid at minus 200 degree Celsius? Okay, we have minus 186, minus 269, minus 246 and minus 196. To understand this better, let us draw a number line. Okay, and because we are required to find a monoatomic gas, a diatomic gas can be directly cancelled from the options. So we have argon at minus 186, okay, helium at minus 269 and neon at minus 246. Now guys, what happens is that these two will be gas at 200 degrees Celsius because above 269 and above 246 they are gases. Only and only argon is liquid at 200 degree Celsius. So your next answer is argon. Okay, let's see what the next question is. Okay, two different food colorings X and Y are tested using chromatography. 3 pure dyes 1, 2 and 3 are also tested. Okay, the diagram chromatogram is shown. Okay, we can't see the options yet. Okay, which statements are correct? X and Y both contain 2 or more dyes. Okay, X contains dye 3 and 7. Okay, and Y contains dye 3 and 7. Yes, so both of them contain 2 or more dyes. This is a correct statement. Dyes 1 and 2 are present in, dyes 2 and 3 are present in both X and Y. 2, okay, 2 is not present. This is dye 2. Yes, it's present in X and Y. 3 is also present in X and Y. This is also an correct option. The RF of dye 1 is 0.625. What is RF? RF is the ratio of distance travelled by the solvent divided by distance travelled by the dye. So dye 1 has travelled distance 5 units and the solvent has travelled distance 8 units. So you'll find 5 by 8 on division. This is 0.625. So your all three options are correct and therefore your correct answer is option C. Okay, let's go to the next question. Which statement about atoms of all the isotopes of carbon is correct? They are all radioactive? No. Carbon 12 is not. They have same mass? No. That is what isotopes are. They don't have same masses. They have the same number of neutrons? Again, no. They have same number of electrons in the outermost shell. Yes, because they have the same number of protons. The number of electrons do not change and the number of electrons in their outermost shell also does not change. Okay, let's find out what is question number 6. Which diagram represents the structure of silicon 4 oxide? Okay, this first one is diamond. The second one is graphite. Third one is sodium chloride, or for that matter any ionic compound, both of them having valency 1. Here this is a compound which contains 2 elements and as you can see they are in ratio 1:2. So this must be silicon 4 oxide SiO2. Let's see what the next question is. Lithium and fluorine react to form lithium fluoride. Student writes three statements about the reaction. Lithium atoms lose an electron when they react. Okay. Each fluoride ion has one more electron than fluorine atom. Yes, because they accept an electron. Lithium fluoride is a mixture of elements. No, a compound is not a mixture. They are chemically combined elements. So which statement are correct? Only 1 and 2. So your correct answer is A. Okay. Question 7. How many electrons are used to form covalent bonds in a molecule of methanol CH3OH? Okay. To do this, let us draw one small structure of CH3OH. So I have CH3OH. Okay. So here one bond means two electrons being shared, right? And they are asking how many electrons are used to form covalent bond. So 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here and 2 here. So 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. And your correct answer to this question is option D. Okay, let's go to the next question. Magnesium oxide has a high melting point. Carbon dioxide has a low melting point. Which row identifies the attractive forces that are broken when these compounds are melted? Okay. Why is the magnesium oxide having high melting point? Because it has strong attraction between the ions. It forms a giant molecule. But carbon dioxide cannot form giant molecule because its intermolecular forces are weak and they don't have sufficient valency to form a giant molecule. So your option should contain strong attraction between ions for magnesium and weak attraction between molecules for carbon dioxide. Okay. So these two options can be striked out immediately. Okay. Strong attraction between ions, strong attraction between ions. Weak attraction between atoms. No. Weak attraction between the molecules. And your correct answer is D. Okay, next, the half equation for formation of oxygen during electrolysis of aluminium oxide is shown. What are the values of X and Y? If XO2 minus forms O2 and Y electrons are given out, here we must understand that the reaction should be balanced and they are asking us how to balance this reaction. So if O2 is required, then 2O2 minus must be present. So the value of X is 2, right? And if one atom of oxygen loses 2 electrons, right? It has 2 minus charge, so it will lose 2 electrons. So 2 atoms of oxygen will lose total 4 electrons. So the correct value of X and Y are 2 and 4, and therefore correct option is D. Okay, a compound has formula Xf2 and has a relative mass of 70. What is element X? Okay, for this you will need a little bit of help of your periodic table given at the end of your paper, right? What you do is you have the relative mass of fluorine, subtract it from 70. At this point I can write 70 minus 2 times of relative mass of fluorine is the relative mass of X, the relative atomic mass of X. Now I know the relative mass of fluorine can be found out from periodic table. So let's just quickly scroll to the periodic table and find out that mass. Okay, fluorine has a mass of 19. Okay, so the relative mass of fluorine is 19. So 70 minus 2 into 19. 19 to the 38. 70 minus 38 is 32. So the relative mass of the atom X must be 32. And such atom is nothing but sulfur. So that's your answer. Okay. Diagram shows a section of overhead power cable, ceramic, steel and aluminium. Which statement explains why a particular substance is used? Aluminium has a low density and is a good conductor of electricity. Okay, that's why it's used and that's your correct answer. Let's look at the next question. During electrolysis of sulfuric acid, hydrogen is collected at the cathode. What is the ionic half equation for this reaction? Right. So they want us to tell how is hydrogen liberated. Where is it liberated? At cathode. Okay. So hydrogen ions come, they gain 2 electrons and form hydrogen gas. Okay, these two reactions are similar, but this is not your answer because it is not balanced. Hydrogen is not a monoatomic gas, it's a diatomic gas, and therefore C is your correct answer. Okay, which row describes an endothermic reaction? A, energy level diagram, and we have energy transfer. Okay, what's happening here? Energy is transferred from surrounding to the reaction. No. B, energy is transferred from the surrounding to the reaction. Okay, actually this will be our correct answer because this is true. You may get confused with option B and C. Option C says energy, progress of reaction, energy falls. Energy is transferred from the reaction to the surroundings. This is incorrect. Why? Because if you notice, there is a small activation energy required. So not energy, just it's not transferred to the surroundings. It is already also taken from surroundings. Okay. So and here it is taken from surroundings. So that is a correct option. Okay, let's look at the next question. The equation for complete combustion of methane is shown. CH4 gas plus 2O2 gas gives CO2 gas plus 2H2O gas. Okay, what is the energy change for this reaction? And bond energies are already given. So let's find out. Let's first draw the structure of what all bonds are broken and what all bonds are made. So CH4, this bonds are broken. O2, remember there are two O2. So we have 1 and 2. These bonds are broken. What are made? C double bond O and O H, right? O H. These are made and these are broken. Breaking bond requires energy, making bond releases energy. So let's also find out that what are the energies related to this. So 410 joules multiplied by 4, oxygen O double bond O, so 496 multiplied by 2. Okay, we have C double bond O, it's 805 multiplied by 2, and you have OH bond at 460 joules, 460 kilojoules per mole into 4, because there are 4 such bonds. Now if you calculate that, you have 410 into 4 is 1640, then 496 into 2 is 992, 805 into 2 is 1610, and 460 into 4 is 1840. Now the change in energy is nothing but delta H of energy required to break the bonds minus energy liberated by the bonds. So it is 1640 plus 992 minus 1610 minus 1840. So let's just calculate that. 1640 plus 992 minus 1610 minus 1840, and you have 818 joules, kilojoules per mole. Your answer is 818 minus 818 kilojoules per mole. Okay, hydrogen fuel cells can be used to power car. Which statement about a fuel cell are correct? Okay. The balanced equation for reaction is H2 plus O2 gives H2O. No, this is not a balanced reaction. Fuel cell generates electricity. Yes, it does. In the fuel cell, hydrogen is reduced. No, hydrogen is oxidized. And the reactants are gases at room temperature. Yes. So your correct statements are 2 and 4. So your correct option is answer C. Okay. Now, the apparatus shown is used to measure rate of reaction. Which equation represents a reaction where the rate can be measured using this apparatus? Okay, so you have a gas syringe, therefore your products must have a gas. Otherwise, you will not be able to use this gas syringe and this apparatus is useless. Let's look at which equation has gas in its products, not reactants, products. Okay, so the first reaction Mg plus 2HCl gives MgCl2 and H2 gas is our answer. But let's just have a look. Do other options have gas in the product section? No, none of them have. So your answer is option A. Question 17. P is a hydrated metal salt with blue color. Okay, which metal salt is of blue color? Copper sulfate. When P is heated, water is given off, leaving a solid Q. Okay. R is a hydrated metal salt with pink color. Which metal salt is pink color when hydrated? Cobalt chloride. When R is heated, water is given off, leaving solid S. Okay. Which row gives the name of P and color of S? Don't get confused. It's asking for name of P and color of S. We just identified P is copper sulfate, but hydrated copper sulfate. So these two options are not your answers. Okay. What is the color of cobalt chloride when it is anhydrous? It is blue. So your correct answer is copper sulfate and color of S as blue. Your option is C. Magnesium reacts with copper to give magnesium oxide and magnesium reacts with copper oxide to give magnesium oxide and copper. Which substance is the oxidizing agent in this reaction? The one which loses oxygen is the oxidizing agent, and but obviously that answer is copper oxide. Okay. Next question. Part of the periodic table is shown. Which element forms an acidic oxide? An element which is non-metal will form an acidic oxide, and therefore your answer is option B. When aqueous sodium hydroxide is added to a solution of metal ion, a grey-green precipitate forms. What is this grey-green precipitate? We don't know. Which dissolves in excess to form dark green solution. Dark green solution dissolved in sodium hydroxide. Excess is nothing but chromium. So your correct answer is chromium 3. The valency of chromium ion is 3. Remember that this is a test for chromium and you have to remember this. Okay. Which statements about strong acids are correct? Let's find out. They have high concentration of OH minus ions? No. They have a pH value of 1? Yes, they are strong acids. They can. They completely ionize in water? Yes. They turn red litmus paper blue? No. They turn blue litmus paper to red. So option 2 and 3, which is your option C. Metal X reacts with non-metal Y to form an ionic compound with the formula X2Y. Which statements are correct? X is group 1 of the periodic table. Yes, because how is the compound formula given? X and Y. If it is X2Y, it means Y has a valency of 2 and X has a valency of 1. Or their ratio of valencies are 1:2. There are only two possibilities. Either their valencies are 1 and 2 or the ratio of their valencies are 1 and 2. Let's see. X is in group 1 of the periodic table. This seems to be true because it's either 1 or a multiple of 1. X is in group 2 of the periodic table. Seems less probable. Y is group 6. Yes, group 1 and group 6 would make a perfect match for this ratio of valencies. Group 6 elements have a valency of 2 minus. So these two are correct, right? Y is in group 7 of the periodic table. These two are incorrect. So your correct answer is 1 and 3. Let's see, we have A as 1 and 3. Okay. Table gives some properties of group 4 elements. Okay. We're going to see a trend here. Which row describes properties of silicon? Okay, let's see. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. What is happening to density? Density goes on increasing. Boiling point goes on decreasing. Okay, so let's find out. Sulfur, only these two are possible answer because silicon will not have more density than germanium according to this trend. Okay, and the boiling point goes on decreasing, so it must have boiling point between 4800 and 2800 approximately. So your correct answer is nothing but option A. The density is 2.3, boiling point 3265. Okay, now the metal beryllium does not react with cold water. Okay, it reacts with hydrochloric acid but cannot be extracted from its ore by carbon. So less reactive than cannot be extracted. So more reactive than both carbon and hydrogen. Where is beryllium placed in reactivity series? Okay, it seems that it can be placed in A. It will be more reactive than both carbon and hydrogen. Therefore, you can easily place it at A. More reactive than zinc. Why is cryolite used in the extraction of aluminium from bauxite? Okay, as a catalyst for the process? No. As a solvent for aluminium oxide? See, it's not exactly a solvent, but it brings down the melting point of aluminium from in bauxite, right? So what will happen is it will form a solution. It will take in solid aluminium oxide. It will itself become liquid first. So we can say that it can be used as a solvent for aluminium oxide. It stops carbon anodes from burning away? No. It reduces aluminium ion to aluminium ions in oxide? No. That is also not correct. Okay. Which statement about the uses of metals are correct? Okay. Iron is used to make aircraft because iron has a low density. Iron does not have low density and it is not used to make aircraft. Copper is used to make electric cables because copper is a good conductor of electricity. Yes. Aluminum is used to make brass because aluminium is strong and hard. No, it's not used to make brass. Okay. Iron is mixed with additives to make an alloy used in chemical plant. Yes, that is true. So your correct options are option 2 and 4. Okay. Let's look at question 27. Which row describes the reaction of magnesium hydroxide and magnesium oxide? Effect of heat on hydroxide and effect of heating oxide with carbon. Okay, because magnesium is more reactive than carbon, no reaction is going to take place. So these options can be discarded. Now we have, does heating hydroxide forms magnesium oxide or not? Yes, heating hydroxide does form magnesium oxide. So your correct option is option B. The properties of an element are listed. Its melting point is 3414 degrees Celsius. Some of its compounds are catalysts. It has variable oxidation states. Where is the element found in the periodic table? Because it is having high melting point, because it is used as catalyst and has oxidation states more than 1, we can definitely say that this is a transition element and it will be found under the group of transition elements. Petrol burns in car engine to produce waste gases which leave through the car exhaust. One of these waste gases is an oxide of nitrogen. Which statement describes how this oxide of nitrogen is formed? See, generally nitrogen and oxygen do not mix. If they would have mixed, we would have found them in atmosphere. But it is found in exhaust gases, which means they do mix inside the engine of a car. So let's find out, do we have an option like that? Carbon dioxide reacts with nitrogen in the catalytic converter. No, carbon monoxide and nitrogen monoxide react to form carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen reacts with oxygen in the car engine, and this seems to be the correct answer. So option B. Nitrogen then reacts with oxygen in catalytic converter. No, nitrogen does not react with oxygen in the catalytic converter, and petrol combines with nitrogen in the car engine. No, that is the least possible variation. Okay, now which combination of chemical compounds can be used to produce the fertilizer shown? The fertilizer must contain nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in the ratio 21, 16 and 8. Okay, so what are the possible combinations we have? We have ammonium phosphate and potassium chloride. Okay, it contains all three, N, P and K. We have ammonium nitrate and calcium phosphate. This does not contain potassium at all. So this cannot be your answer. Let's look at the next one. Ammonium nitrate, and it seems to be NH2 twice CO. This also does not contain phosphorus. Cannot be your answer. Then you have NH4NO3, ammonium nitrate, potassium sulfate and ammonium sulfate. Again, you don't have phosphorus. So this also can't be your answer. Now, this is your correct answer. But if while solving this, you start to find out the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium present, if you start to find out the correct ratio in which they must be present, you will not easily reach a conclusion, because notice that these are two different salts, right? So the ratio of nitrogen and potassium may remain same, but you can always change the amount of the ratio of nitrogen and phosphorus can be kept same, but potassium can be continuously changed. You can increase or decrease the potassium, therefore changing the ratio, and therefore you just have to look for the amount, the elements that you require and not the amount. Okay, let's look at the next question. You have, which process does not produce carbon dioxide? Which of the following process does not produce carbon dioxide? Okay, what do we have? Combustion of hydrocarbon? No, products are carbon dioxide and water. Photosynthesis? Yes, products are oxygen, energy and water is given out. Reaction between acid and a metal carbonate? No. Respiration? No. Okay, please don't forget guys that even in photosynthesis, to support the transport of water, water is given out through the stomata. Which substance is used as a bleach in manufacture of paper? Simply sulfur dioxide. One of the use of sulfur dioxide is as a bleach. Chlorine is also an answer, but it is not in your options. What is an industrial use of calcium carbonate? Okay, cracking hydrocarbons? No. Manufacture of aluminium? We have not used it in that. Manufacture of cement? Yes. Not in purification of water. Even manufacture of, or you can say extraction of iron will be a correct answer. It is used inside blast furnace. Let's move on to the next question. Propane reacts with chlorine. Which row shows a condition required for this reaction and identifies the type of reaction? So it's propane, it's an alkane. When it reacts with chlorine, it has to be a substitution reaction. Chlorine is activated only in presence of ultraviolet light, and therefore your correct answer is option D. Okay, the pie chart represents the composition of natural gas. Which sector represents methane? What is the maximum of natural gas? Methane. Most of the natural gas is prominently methane, and therefore your correct answer is D. In this pie chart, the largest area is covered by option D. It seems to be methane. Let's look at the next question. Which statement describes reaction between ethene and steam? See, this is a alkene. When it reacts with steam, it's going to be addition reaction. The alkene here is going to break its double bond. This bond will be broken, and therefore it will be able to accommodate, both the carbon will be able to accommodate at least one atom, which is a new atom. Okay, so steam is water. This will break to H and OH. H attaches itself here, OH here, and the rest of the molecule as it is was H, 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 H. This is nothing but ethanol, right? So, a cracking reaction which produces ethane and hydrogen gas. Okay, long chain alkane can be cracked, alkenes cannot be cracked. Okay, this is not even a long chain alkene. An addition reaction which produces ethanol and as the only product. Yes, if the double bond is broken, it is an addition reaction, and therefore only ethanol is produced. So your correct answer is option B. Let's find out what is the next question. Formula of a hydrocarbon is CXHY. Equation for its complete combustion is shown below. Okay, CXHY plus 8O2 gives 5CO2 plus 6H2O. What are the values of X and Y? Now you can definitely calculate, but instead of this, let me give you an equation that you can use anywhere. If this is your hydrocarbon, let's say ZH2O, not H2O, ZO2 react. Okay, this is a Z. This will give you X CO2 and Y by 2 H2O. This will always be followed when a hydrocarbon is combusted. Let's find out. Now let's equate. Okay. So your value of X is 5. Your value of Y by 2 is 6. So the value of Y is 12. So the correct option is 5 and 12, which is option B. Okay. The formula of an ester is given. CH3, CH2, CH2, COO, CH2, CH2, CH3. Which acid and alcohol react together to make the ester? Okay. So there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon here. 1, 2, 3 carbon here. So the alcohol contains 3 carbon, acid contains 4 carbon. So it's propanoic acid and butanoic acid and propanol. Okay, butanoic acid, butanol, and okay. So the correct option is option B. The correct option is option B. Okay. Molecule 1 undergoes a process to make molecule 2. Molecule 1 process molecule 2. Which row describes the molecules and the process? Molecule 1 is a monomer. Process is cracking. No, it cannot be cracking and polymer produce. No. Monomer is molecule 1. Process is polymerization and molecule 2 is a polymer. This is definitely a correct option, and that's your answer. Let's look at the last question of the paper. Which structure represents a protein? Now remember, the protein molecule must have C double bond O NH bonding. This is known as amide linkage. Let's find out which of these have amide linkage. Okay, there is 1, 2 amide linkage here. This does not have amide linkage. This does not have amide linkage. These also has amide linkage. Now the second requirement of protein is that on one side of the protein there must be C double bond O, but on the other side NH must be present. Protein must have C double bond O and NH. Only option A satisfies that condition, and that is your correct answer. With this, we have come to an end to this paper. If you want us to solve more paper of more subjects or different grades, do let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.